Can't see, but apparently someone's in here. I can't tell who it is. So if you are in here, just type in anything just to see who is all in here. Because for the life of me, I cannot. I don't know why it says, I can view people on here, but I can't. So yeah, just testing out the microphone before I say anything. But as always, you're not going to want to miss this because, I'm not saying about the rant or whatever, but I will express myself as best as I can because this job, man, I'm telling you, the airport life, y'all don't know about that. Let me tell you. I can tell you straight up that unless you were born with that desire to work at the airport, the same way that, little Johnny was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a cop. And he ends up being a cop. Unless you have that like natural instinct and desire to work at the airport like that, it's not good. Not good at all. Let's see if it lets me see who's in here now. Nope, still I can't see. There's supposedly 2 more people in here. I'm going to wait till about 4 o'clock before I start my rant. You're gonna want to watch this because I bottle up my feelings at work. Well, I kind of do say something, but I try to be as patient and quiet as I can be. Matter of fact, along with my rant, hello, I cannot pronounce that name, but hello, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for showing some love. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. All right, I'm gonna wait for a few more minutes just to see if anybody else decides to join in. New guest, thank you so much. Do you have a name or do you have an alias or a nickname or anything that you would want me to refer to you as? Let me know in the chat area. What would you like me to call you so that when you have a question or something, I know how to address you? Just let me know in the chat and I will definitely refer to you as what you want me to refer to you as. But yeah, guys, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So as always, share it with your friends, your family, anybody who wants to hear about the life of a TSA officer. Okay. Eric, what's going on, man? I was just over at your channel. You had something interesting going on. And you kind of like, in a way, motivated me to kind of like start my stream today. I wasn't going to do a stream today, but I seen you doing what you were doing. I'm like, you know what? Let me just, since I have a lot to say, let me just do my stream and hopefully get some stuff off my chest. But yeah, thank you for stopping by, bro. Appreciate it. I'm going to wait until 4 o'clock. It is 3:58. And I'm going to wait because I know like some people find out too late that I was streaming.
and that's like Eric. Eric, I think, missed out on yesterday's stream, but it's still up. So, Diane, what's going on? What's going on, sis? Good to have you stop by. Appreciate it. Hopefully, this won't take as long as yesterday's stream did because I really, number one, I don't want to take too much of you guys' time because I know it's valuable time. Every second and every minute counts, and me as a content creator actually prefer for anybody to use their time wisely. So I'll try my best to not take up too much of your time. All right. I did my best on new impersonation. No problem. Okay. Yeah, I figured it was you, man. Even though you said it wasn't you, I thought that was what was going on. So I was like, is it? Did someone like hack his channel or account? Interesting. But yeah, good job, bro. Um, I do not understand English, but a new guest can I be of my new one? My new one? Like that's what you want to be called? My new one? Yeah, I could call you that. Or new one. Yeah, no hacking, no problem. All right. So as promised, I guess I'll just have to wait for more people to join in. It is officially 4 p.m. Eastern time, and today I'm going to rant about my work life. Okay, and this is going to be a very touchy subject because it's a lot of mixed emotions with what I'm about to discuss, and like literally, it is complicated. It's not as straightforward as you would think. So first things first, all right. I want to give thanks to every single one of you, ran all the way, for stopping by to the stream. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your thumbs up that you're giving on this stream. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing this with other people. I love every single one of you that are either a what's up, Solid Snake? What's going on, man? I'm gonna call you Double S because that's a pretty long. I mean, it's not a long name, but it's just a little tricky. So Double S it is. But yeah, I appreciate every single one of you. Okay. So then down to business because I love being grateful and thankful, but I don't want to take too long, so I'm gonna just skip to it. So long story short, I have been working at the airport for 3 years now. Okay. Number one, before I say anything from this point forward, okay, please note, all right, I am very aware that the job that I have is a decent job, is a somewhat decent paying job, and it's somewhat an honorable job to have. Okay. Um, yeah, double S. Yeah. Um, and I'm grateful and thankful for my job. Let's make that very clear before I go on and say anything else from this point forward. And let me repeat myself just in case. I am grateful and thankful for my job, meaning I'm grateful for the opportunity that I was given to work at the airport. Okay, as a TSO officer, TSA officer, um, deeply grateful. Now then, having that aside, okay, putting that aside, I have to say that working at the airport, okay, and I know there's going to be a lot of people on the chat area saying, oh, every job has its problems. Oh, every job has its frustrations. Oh, every job has its ups and downs and has its, yeah, that's true. That's true at up to a certain point, okay? Let me tell you something. If you, I mean, I don't know if I should ask this, but I wake up in the morning at 2:25 in the morning every day from Monday to Friday. Okay, 2:25 in the morning to kind of like give myself to get up and get ready and go to work. All right, I start my shift at 4. Okay, from 4 to 12:30. That's my shift. All right. Now Mind you, I am repeating almost verbatim the same things all day, every day, just as a cashier would do at Walgreens or Walmart or whatever. It's mundane. Okay, that's the first thing, right? Um, the shift itself, the hours, it sucks. Okay, there's very few choices of what kind of hours they allow you to work or they have available for you to work. So sadly, I kind of have to do that early morning shift if I want to kind of like invest my time in better ways than the rest of the day. Okay. It's a mundane job, right? It's extremely routine. And the worst part is because that's not even like the bad stuff. That's just like me kind of like opening the conversation. But the worst part is, guys, okay, is and now even worse with the masks that we are obligated to wear. Okay, TSA officers, almost in every airport right now. I can't say for sure every airport, but for the most part, every airport we have to wear masks. An obligation. Like, if not, if we do not wear a mask on the checkpoint, we cannot go to work. They do not allow us to go to work. Like, we cannot say, "Oh, I can't breathe. Oh, I have a doctor's note." No, it's okay. You can't wear the mask. You can't work. Go home and figure that out. But until you wear that mask, it's you're going home, right? So, but here's the thing, because what I was trying to get to before I got kind of like mixed up there with that little rant is people. I don't know what it is like when they get to the airport, and before I go any further, okay, I respect every passenger that goes out flying. I do my very best to treat it as if they were flying for the very first time ever in their life and they've never seen a airport movie or show or whatever. I try to treat everybody as if they were having their first encounter experience at the airport. I really do try my best. The problem is though, like, people for the most part, okay, it's like they hear us, they hear the officers, but they don't take the time to listen to us and to ask questions and to move at our pace. Okay. And let me tell you another thing, guys. Us TSA officers, we want to get you in and get you out as fast as possible. And our screening procedures, all right, at least the teams that I've worked with thus far in my 3 years, and I've worked at 3 different airports in 3 years, okay, they are all fast. We are all fast. Matter of fact, I kind of overheard some time ago that we're amongst like the fastest like airports that our screening times is like really fast. Okay, and I, yeah, double S and sis. I'm not saying that. Okay, y'all can go on about that all you want in the chat area. I'm not personally saying that. Those words are not coming out of my mouth, but I agree. I concur, but I'm not saying that. Anyways, um, we the screening times and the way we try to get everything done as fast as possible. At the same time, being as thorough as possible, okay, is crazy. Because number one, not no offense to anybody, but we don't want to see your faces. We want to receive you, take care of you, screen you, make sure you have nothing that you're not supposed to have, and send you on your way. That's it. Like, we're not there to harass you. We're not there to make your life a living hell. We're not there to make your day, like a whole issue. We're not there to because we want to touch you inappropriately or whatever you want to think in your mind. That's another thing, man. Like, I don't know how people, and I've seen a lot of them, and I've experienced a lot of passengers that think in their sick mind that we want to, like, we're craving to like touch people like everywhere, and Some people even think that we like make the machines alarm on certain areas just to touch someone inappropriately, or somewhere where, you know what I'm saying, it's like considered like sensible or delicate. Like, nobody wants to do that. Listen, the officer that's there working, hand to God, just wants to screen you, make sure you're safe to be on that plane, and say bye. You know, bye, Felicia. Like, get out of here. Like, that's it. That's all the contact that we want to have with you guys. Is just, pretty much get it in and get it out. You know what I'm saying? And I'll give you a few examples, okay, of how sick some people are. All right, and this has happened multiple times, but I'm only gonna reference a few. Okay, I had a guy once at the tall body scanner, the one that goes like this around you or whatever, and it kind of like locates different alarms on your body. I had this gentleman, because I'm trying to be respectful here. I had this passenger, this guy, who got scanned, and he alarmed in the sensitive area down there. Okay, and I'm telling the guy very politely, very respectfully, hey man, sir, you alarmed in that area. I have to do this, this, and this to clear that area. No lie, okay? And I'm still having somewhat filter on here because y'all know I try to talk as clean as possible, all right? But this guy was like, oh man, you just want to touch my thing. You just want to rub up on my thing. And I snapped. Like, I literally, my mind could not, because of the way he said it, and he said it so loud, and like everybody around like heard it, so there was like a silence, and I was like, listen, brother, ain't nobody trying to touch your thing, okay? Nobody. All right, especially not me. All right, so, you know let's get this over with. Let me do my job, and you can like go about your business. All right, how about that? And he kept going on regardless. He kept saying, oh, look at this guy touching my junk. Look at this guy touching my thing. Like, I bet you like that. I bet you like touching that. I'm like all I wanted to do, honest to God, is just like take off my gloves, be like, all right, take my badge off. Like, that's it. Like, I'm out. Because it wasn't the first time, guys. All right. It was not the first time. I've had that kind of like situation cross my path a bunch of times. And the thing is, like, people like that already have like a perception of us or whatever, like a pre-designated like perception, a messed up one, okay, that they believe like from movies or TV shows or whatever. And so they come in all defensive or whatever, and disrespect us, and we're just there just trying to like like make sure that they're safe to be on that plane, and buy and just like send them on the way. That's it. That's like the only thing that we're there for. Matter of fact, like, we try to do things like so fast. Exactly. Yeah. And we're not cops. We have cops in the area. If things get out of hand, they help us out. But like, we're legit not cops. Like, and the amount of us, the amount of TSOs that have been disrespected like throughout the years, you know what I'm saying? Because people, all right, a few of the reasons why people act that way, besides having a wrong perception because of like the media and the news, and one, well, I don't want to say one, let me rephrase that before people try to chew me out in the chat area. There's been some incidents where TSOs, as with any other job or place, okay, there's a bad batch, a small bad batch, okay. The same way that there's like a bad batch in the cops, a bad batch in the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry. Everywhere you go, there's a bad batch that always ruins the projection of the whole entire entity or whatever. And there have been a few instances where a TSO does something that he or she is not supposed to or whatever, but that's not the majority of us. You know what I'm saying? The majority of us, trust me when I tell you, we don't even want to touch you guys. like hand to God, God is my witness, we do not want to touch you guys ever. Like when the screen goes green on our side and it says you're good to go, we're like, thank God. Thank God. Please go before the screen changes its mind or something. Just leave. You know, that's how we react because we don't want to touch anybody. You know what I'm saying? The less we have to touch, the better for us, the better for you. You know what I'm saying? People are entitled. Yeah, they are. Oh, don't let me get started on pre-check people. Let's move on to pre-check people, and I'll go back to what I'm saying. Listen, I've said this in the past in other videos, okay, but I'm gonna say it again. If you are paying for the pre-check service, okay, do your research, ask questions, okay? Make sure that you are well informed of how the pre-check services work. Because I don't know what it is when people like pay for this service, no one explains to them how not every single time for sure 100% you're going to have that pre-check status on your flight, okay? So let me be the bearer of bad news right now and tell you that if you think that just because you're paying for that service, like every single time you go flying, you're going to get it, you're not. It's not guaranteed. All right. And if the people who's giving you that service is not explaining that to you, then that's on them. All right. Don't take it out on us. Don't take it out on TSA. Do not take it out on the TSOs at the checkpoint when the pre-check status doesn't appear on your phone or because it's a standard lane, you have to do things differently. Like that's not our fault. Okay. So don't disrespect any TSO officer. Don't disrespect any TSA officer at the checkpoint just because uh, no one explained to you that it's not 100% guaranteed that your pre-check is going to be on every single flight. All right. Do not, I repeat, do not, okay, take it out on any TSA officer. Do not take it out on any checkpoint. All right. That's not our fault. That's not our problem. All right. We do our part to try to help you guys out. You know, like when that happens, you know, like there's two things that can happen. All right. Either it doesn't show up on your flight that time. It's probably an airport. Exactly. Yo, Snake, exactly. And I'll get to that in a second. All right. But the whole pre-check thing, okay? Because I'm dying to talk about this because and it's almost always like older people, bro. And nothing against older people. I love older people, but most of the time it's like older people or like people in the 50s or 60s or whatever that have this uh, quote unquote privilege, okay, that they have the pre-check. Two things can happen, okay? Number one, it might not pop up on your, yeah, they are a pain. It might not pop up on your flight that day, okay? For whatever reason, that's something that we don't control. TSA does not control that, okay? So that's number one. Number two, if you did have pre-check that day, all right, and you're paying for that service or whatever, and you have it that day, but the pre-check lane itself is closed, deal with it. Like there's a standard lane that is offering you to at least keep your shoes on. All right, we have a blue card. We give it out. Say, hey, read. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. So when we hand out these blue cards, all right, we most of us, if not all of us, we say very carefully, and we make sure the person is listening to us. We say, hey, read this blue card very carefully and follow the instructions. All right, and hold it in your hand at all times until they take it from you. People go like this, okay, thank you, appreciate that. And they look at the card. How in God's name, after we tell you very respectfully, very politely, and we make sure that you're listening and you nod as if you're understanding what's going on, and you even look at the card that has been given to you, okay, and still not follow instructions. Still, after we tell you, after you read, after you acknowledge, a lot of people still don't follow the instructions. How in God's earth is that possible? Can anybody answer that question? Please, I'm dying to know. I cannot wait to understand the enigma, as Patrick would say from SpongeBob. The inter enigma of the workings and the behaviors of people who listen to the instructions, read the instructions, acknowledge the instructions, and then fail to comply with the instructions. I'm sorry, I will never understand. I just, it baffles me to this day. And it's been 3 years, guys. That may not seem like a lot of time, okay? We're working at the same place, but trust me when I tell you, at the airport, it feels like an eternity. It really does. And it sucks because I would love to be able to speak highly about working at the airport because it sounds like an interesting job. And the first few months, yeah, it was interesting because you're getting to know the ins and outs of the airport. Uh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, everybody wants to do what they want to do, and just they think they can get away with it. They think we're not gonna care to do things the right way. They think that we're careless, and they just do what they want to do. But yeah, like I would have loved to say like it's an awesome job. It's exciting. It's very like fun because people like make it easier for you and you make it easier for them. Sadly, I can't say this. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that something as pleasant as traveling like isn't as pleasant because mostly, okay, mostly passengers make it out to be that way, guys. All right. And if you're in the chat area and you're one of those people who make it difficult on yourself or us, I'm not trying to target anyone specific or whatever. I'm just saying like this is something that I have been seeing go on for 3 years, guys. 3 years. Okay. There's multiple ways of you preparing for a flight. There's multiple places online where you can look up. People don't have common encouragement. Yeah, appreciate that, Snake, and I'll get to that in a second too. Um, there's so many things you could do, and so many websites you could visit to understand and know ahead of time what to do and what not to do at the airport, at the checkpoint. Even if you say, "Oh, all airports are different," okay, we'll check with that airport specifically ahead of time. That's like one of the biggest advices I can give you guys is whatever airport you're flying through or going to, ask and call in advance. Like, hey, I have a flight in a few days or whatever. I'm just calling because I want to understand how your airport operates. What's not allowed to go, what is allowed to go on my carry-on, et cetera, et cetera. Inform yourself. That's the first thing. Inform yourself before you fly. Okay. And the secondly, while you're at the checkpoint, for the love of God, just listen to the officers because they really do want to help you get through as fast as possible. Me being one that I love people. I love talking to people. I love taking care of people. If you have been watching me for a while now, you understand how much of a people person I am and can be. But most passengers make it so difficult because they I don't know what it is, man. I really don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because they're focused on what they have to do when they get on the other side. I don't know if it's because they're nervous and they're just kind of like acting weird while they're at the checkpoint. I don't know if they're like tunnel vision and they can't like listen correctly and like function how they normally would. It's like, and I've heard this before, but it's like if people enter the airport and get to the checkpoint and their brain shuts off and they're like mindless. And you can talk to them and they'll hear you and they'll respond back, But for the most part, it's like mm, they don't know like what to do, even if you tell them. I'm about to tell you guys something that just it blew my mind today, and it happened today. Okay, so I was behind the table where I'm on the other side of the passenger where they divest. Okay, so I'm taking care of this gentleman. He puts his bag through, um, and I'm still at the table. He comes back and he says, "Hey, I forgot to take my headphones off." Like he had like AirPods on. Okay, here you go, and he throws them onto the belt, the moving belt, guys. He throws the AirPods onto the moving belt, and I had to like think fast and react and say, "Whoa, like don't do that. They can get like stuck in between the belt. You can lose them. They could break. They can like whatever. Like something can happen to them. Like, what are you thinking?" And I'm like, I cannot believe I'm seeing this right now. I don't understand. And there's bowls like right there in that area. Like when he threw his AirPods or whatever, there was bowls like right there on top of like the X-ray tunnel. And I'm like, I don't know, man. And that's not the first time I've seen something like that, but it happened today. Yeah, pretty much epitome of stupidity. And it's like you don't want to call nobody dumb or stupid because you know that they're, you know what I'm saying, that they are bright people and they are intelligent. You know what I'm saying? But just I don't know what happens at the checkpoint that everybody just shuts off their brains, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then just I see people trying to put like big carry-on bags into a small tray. Like I'm seeing how I can explain it to you guys. Just give me 1 second and I'll display it for you. And I'm not exaggerating. I promise you. This is the tray. Okay, you see how small it is. All right. Matter of fact, look at how small it is that it fits in my hand. Okay. People literally try to put bags that are this big in a tray. This is people putting their carry-on bags or check-in bags in a tray. What is this? What is this? Honestly, like, does this make any sense at all? This is stuff that I see on a daily basis, guys. This is stuff that I witness at a daily basis. And then, of course, the continuous disrespect, of I've seen people throw things on the table. You know, nobody has said a word to them. Nobody has gotten a chance to even welcome them or anything, and they just throw stuff on the table. You know, and we're supposed to like just take it and be like, all right, let's put it through or whatever. That happens a lot too. Another thing is, guys, like technically, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret, okay? And this is a good secret. This is a secret that it's actually beneficial to you as a passenger if ever you go offline, and it's beneficial for the TSO. Okay, technically, all right, the TSO at the table where you divest, we're not supposed to touch your property. Okay, technically, the TSO officer is not supposed to touch your property. Okay, we're just supposed to explain and give direction and say, hey, this is what we want out. This is what we want, in your bag, out of your pockets. Um, at my airport, for the most part, we still want to help out, and so most of us end up like helping you guys with the property anyways and like pushing your stuff through. But that's not our job. Like technically, we're not supposed to touch your property or push it through. You are, as a passenger, supposed to do all of that. Okay? Us, technically, we're just supposed to be there like, hey, when you get a chance, we want this, this, and this out. The bag will go on the table, blah, 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 and just kind of like help you through verbally. But some of us, for whatever reason, whether it be because the person just in a hurry and they just kind of like leave their stuff at the table and they run off to the machine, or maybe they have like kids, and obviously, us as officers, we want to help that mother, make it easier on that mother or the parents or the family, and so we help out or whatever and push their stuff through while they keep divesting. But pushing stuff through is the passenger's job. The passenger is supposed to push stuff through. Okay. And there's many reasons for that, but just know that, if an officer is pushing your stuff through, he's being nice. He's doing something he's not supposed to do, basically. And a lot of people take advantage of that, I guess, and just kind of like think that we're supposed to be the ones to like push our stuff through or whatever. Like we're like some servants or some maids or something. And that's not the case, guys. Like I'm one that I always ask before I do anything. I always ask and say, hey, do you allow me to rearrange your tray in a better way? That way, on the other side, it most likely won't get pulled for like a bad check because of this. Hey, exactly. They really do. A lot of them, they do think we're valet. Like they legit think that we're like straight up like, I don't know, 1800s like servants and slaves. Like, would you like me to? I'll push this through for you. No, that's not the case. And it's sad to say this because a lot of people, they're not gonna like it, but that's not our job. You push your own property through. If I push it for you, I'm being nice. If any of us like push any property through, we're wanting to help a little more than we should. Yeah, a butler. Thank you. I was forgetting the word, but yeah, basically they think we're butlers. All right, but that's something that the passenger is supposed to do. Okay. Um, I don't know, man. Like I've seen so many things. I've seen people who put hats on the belt by themselves and just leave it there and just go back to the machine. And I'm like, what's my opinion of Alex with PP? JJ, I'm not sure if you're subscribed or not. Thank you for stopping by to the stream. I appreciate your time. My opinion of Alex of Predator Poachers. Okay, so I'm going to say it once because I really don't want to repeat myself. And I'm going to talk straight up and very honest. So I don't know if you want to get more people to hear me out on this or what. Snake, I know the drama's over, and you know what I'm saying? Like most of us already know the drama is over, and thank God for it because it was getting like overwhelming. But I'll answer the question because it's a question and it's not crazy like I'll answer it. So Alex from Predator Poachers is someone who him and Tori are not trustworthy. That could be true, Eric. I haven't had any encounters with Tori, but Alex said that he was gonna like call me or text me a few days ago. Still waiting for that call and text. But anyways, Alex, he and hear carefully what I'm going to say, okay? Because I'm trying to find the best way to say this. So, Alex has potential. Yeah, I know. He has potential to be something really great, but he's throwing that potential away because for the most part, okay, what I've seen, I don't know the guy personally. I haven't met him in person. I still haven't been able to talk to him like on the phone and have like a normal, serious conversation. But I am going off of what I have seen thus far. Okay, so take it with a pinch of salt. What I'm about to say. For that, from what I have seen, and I've seen a few of his videos, his catches, and all that. He throws his potential away by being childish, and comes off as ignorant, in the way he does his catches. Um, the guy has the body of a Viking. You know what I'm saying? Which it could work in his favor because seeing how tall he is and all that, and how big he is, it's somewhat intimidating. You know what I'm saying? Not to me, but I could see how it could potentially be intimidating to these predators that they catch. Um, but he's kind of like throwing that away because of he comes off as like childish and just treats the catch like in just straight up entertainment. Like if it was like a freaking um, candid camera type of like scenario, like if they were doing a prank. Um, and it's sad because I desperately would love to like respect the guy, um, and say, oh, he's cool, whatever. But it's hard, you know what I'm saying? It's like really difficult for me to like say that because of how he interacts with like the predators and how he treats the catches as like I just said, like America's funniest home video. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's the thing, bro. Like, there's different ways of going about it. If you have noticed, JJ, that might be partially true, partially, because there's a lot of people who like laughing at that kind of thing, but there's a lot more people who take um, that matter like really seriously and very delicately. And so it's okay, like maybe once in a blue moon to do something like that, but it's another thing to make it like a constant thing, like a constant theme of him treating it as a candid camera type of situation. And that's what kind of like turned me off of like watching more of his content. It's like it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? And let's say it is true. Let's say that that is how his channel got big. Okay, it got you attention. All right. Initially, it got you attention. Now, be be a responsible human being and say, okay, I got the attention that I wanted. Now let me do this like the best way possible. Let me do this the most professional way possible. It's difficult to respect the childish guy who takes a very serious childishly right not to base his brand on it. Right. That's another thing, guys. Okay. So the whole branding thing. Let me say this, okay? He was smart and wise enough, and this is why I say he has potential. Okay, this is why I initially was saying he has potential. Okay, um, he had the right idea of like let me make this into like a franchise. You know what I'm saying? That was smart of him. That was like his mature and intelligent side, like being awake and say, hold up, I could kind of like help this grow and expand. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's thinking like a businessman. That's thinking like someone who wants to expand the purpose of this whole thing. Cool. I respect that. That's awesome. Now then, from there to once again, from what I have heard and seen thus far, I do not have all the facts. I do not have all the information to like speak heavily freely on this. But from what I have seen and heard, the way he tried to pretty much screw over, some, if not most of these other branches off is messed up. I understand business is business, But yo, at the same time, don't be greedy. And that's like the main thing. Like being greedy takes people and pushes them off the cliff, basically. It's like it's okay to be ambitious, but it's like the worst thing to be greedy. Greedy gets nobody anywhere. And I think he kind of fell off right there and then when he tried to be like really greedy about how he was going about things. All right. Um, but here's what I got to say about Alex. I respect Alex as a human being. I respect him as a person. If you've seen any of the comments I've ever written about Alex, you'll never find me calling him names. You'll never find me directly disrespecting him as a person. If anything, maybe I've disrespected like the way he has gone about doing what he does, but that's about it. That's like as far as I've ever gotten to quote unquote disrespecting him or saying anything negative about him. Uh, Other than that, I've always only wished him well. I've only always wished him the best, and I hope that he's able to reinvent himself. Okay, if Alex is able to reinvent himself, do I have a personal relationship with Rami? No. I didn't. Rami is just someone that I support because of the way he does what he does. Um, I'm not saying he's perfect. He's not perfect in any shape, way, or form. Nobody is. Okay, let's get that straight. I do support the guy because I enjoy watching the way he does what he does. He does it in a very unique way. Only he can do catches the way he does, and to where I've seen he tries to keep everything like professional and all that. But I do not have any personal relationship with the guy. Um, I consider him, I guess, in a way, within the predator poaching community. I consider him like family, as with any other predator poacher that I support, like predator poacher Central Florida. Love the guy. I love what he does. Also, CC unit. I love the guy. I love how he does things. Predator poachers Toronto. All these different guys who are going out there on a daily basis, pretty much putting themselves out there at risk and in danger to do what they're doing. I respect and I treat them all as family, but I don't have any specific personal relationship with them. You know what I mean? But back to what I was gonna say, and just give me 1 second, guys. I promise. I just gotta make sure the door's unlocked for when my girl gets here. Be right back. All right, sorry about that. Just making sure the door's unlocked for her when she gets here. So listen very carefully what I'm going to say, okay? Because this is important. You might want to give this out to him. Make sure he sees it and hears it, okay? If Alex is able to reinvent himself and take things more seriously and take things more professionally, he. Okay, Jenny, I'll be right with you with that, okay? I promise I will answer that in a second. I'm just gonna answer something else real quick, and I'll get to what you're asking, okay? I promise you. Don't go anywhere. Um, if he reinvents himself, he has my respect. Like if he's able to change the way he does what he does and be more professional about it and more serious, and you know what I'm saying, like step up his game, I will definitely support him because you'll see a change of heart and a change of doing things more to a professional standard in a more serious manner. Then I'll take him seriously and be like, all right, I'll rock with you if you're able to reinvent yourself. All right, so that's for Alex. Now then, yeah, I got sidetracked because of that. I just came across your channel. It says the topic of your stream is what it's like to work at the airport. TSA. No, Jenny, you're not interrupting. I was just like in the middle of just explaining something. So I was ranting earlier. Okay, Jenny. First of all, I want to give you let's give everybody an applause to Jenny Rose for stopping by. I don't know if you're subscribed to the channel or if you're just stopping by and just checking it out. Everybody give a big hand to Jenny and say what's up to Jenny. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your just checking the channel out and all that. Much love to you. So I already ranted about working at the airport earlier. I'm kind of like, I guess, in a way, done with ranting about, because I've been working at the airport for 3 years, and I was explaining earlier the frustrations of what it is to work at the airport as a TSA. All right, I'm government contracted TSA, meaning I'm not federal. I'm private contracted. All right, and I've been working at a certain airport, which I'm not going to name right now. I've said it in the past, but I'm just not going to name the airport right now. But I've been working there for 3 years, and I've also worked in 2 other airports outside of the state. I've worked in Montana. I've worked in Sioux Falls. And so, I know the ins and outs of what it's like to be a TSA officer, how hard our job is, how difficult passengers make it out to be, and how, it could be a lot better if people traveling made it easier on themselves and easier on us, because we really do try to make it easier for the passengers. We try to get the passengers in and out as fast as possible, while at the same time being as thorough as possible. And a lot of things get lost in transition while that's going on. For example, and I kind of said this earlier, but I'll repeat myself, I guess, in a different way. So I've said this in the past, and we do not get to choose and pick who we pat down. That's up to the machines. The walk-through metal detector and the AIT. Everybody knows the walk-through metal detector because it's the one that goes off and sounds off. Red lights go off, and it's like, oh, it's my watch. Or it's my bell or whatever. That's the walk-through metal detector. The AIT is the one that you get in, hold the pose, and it goes spin around you, and it detects certain alarms on your person. I'm gonna follow that up in a second. What's the craziest or funniest thing you've seen as a TSA? Oh man, that's a tough one, bro, because I've seen so many things. So many things. Okay. I was kind of like saving this for a future occasion for one of the podcasts that I'm hoping on doing with one of my coworkers. But I kind of like just mention it or whatever. Do you ever question the reasons TSA was created? Being a truther, okay, I'm a truther. First of all, I'm a son of God. Okay, I believe in God. I have my faith. And second of all, I'm a truther, so I'll let that answer your question, Jenny. All right. Once again, I am a truther. So if that answers your question, I hope so. If not, then I'll try to answer that later on. Okay. So okay, I think this was about a year ago. Okay. We had just opened up basically like the new checkpoint, and there's more lanes, meaning there's more space. And that day specifically, it was like a busy day, and there's a bunch of like people, and we were just like doing things like super fast, like resolving alarms, clearing, blah blah blah, doing our thing. And from a distance, I'm at the table. I'm at the DO position, right, where you divest your property. And I see from a distance this guy who looks like Jesus. He looks like a very hippie type person. All right, he's got long hair, curly. He looks like he hasn't like showered in a few days. His clothes is kind of like somewhat dirty, and he's just he's happy. He's in the line. He's smiling. He's talking to people. You could hear him from a mile away because he's particularly loud. So he's just hanging out in the line. He's walking forward. And he gets maybe 10 feet away from where I'm at. And I'm kind of like watching him from like the side of my eye, peripheral vision, if you will. And he's just there. He's talking still. And then out of nowhere, Okay, like a freak of nature, this man snaps and loses his mind and just goes, "Ah! Can anybody help me? Anybody help me, please? Security!" And he just goes off screaming and yelling for like another few seconds. There was absolute silence at the checkpoint for at least 10 seconds, maybe a little more, because no one knew what the heck was going on. This guy was just yelling at the top of his lungs, like if someone was stabbing him in the back or something, or trying to, excuse my French here, but trying to rape him or something. I know it's not something to joke about, but it really did sound like someone was trying to do him like some serious damage or harm. Okay, and everybody was just like, I mean, no one's doing nothing. What's going on? He just kept saying over and over, "Can somebody help me? Can somebody help me, please?" And so one of the officers that was like closer to where he was at was like, "Hey, come on, what's going on? Like, what do you need? What happened?" And this man apparently had not read the information about his flight correctly, and he thought he was way ahead of time, and he had time to spare to get on his flight, and it was literally already boarding. And I guess he had something very important to do back home or wherever he was going to, and he got really upset. And let me tell you another secret, guys. Okay, um, if you're in a hurry, all right, the best thing you could do is be as respectful and polite as possible. All right, with the passengers in front of you and the officers. All right. Um, Trust me when I tell you that being polite and respectful, not only to us officers but the passengers in front of you, it'll bring you and take you a long way. Okay, like you can't act like a crazy person. You know what I'm saying? And because it just raises a lot of suspicion. It raises like a lot of concern. Should this person even be traveling, acting the way he's or she's acting or whatever? Like, it just raises a lot of questions at the moment. So if you keep your composure and your patience, and you're like, yo, ask the person in front of you, hey, listen, I don't know if you're on the same flight as I am. I'm on this flight. It's boarding, or this is going on. Um, are you able to let me pass you? Okay, we allow that, right? At least me and my team at the airport. Like, if you ask respectfully and politely to the person in front of you, and that person gives you permission to cut them and pass them because of your situation, we're good with that. We don't care. Like, we're like, okay, cool. Like, they let you skip them, that's cool. Um, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's typically what we try to do. We really do try to. It would answer it. If I made assumptions, it would answer it. Yeah, yeah. So hopefully, I mean, if it didn't answer it or whatever, and you're still not sure about me answering that question that you said earlier, just let me know, and I'll type it in, or I'll say something towards the end of the stream, because once again, I try to keep this stream for like 30 minutes, and it's already going to be an hour. I really got to put a timer on or something, because this is getting ridiculous. But yeah, so we try to help you guys out at the airport. Like, we really do want to do our best within what we're allowed to do, and help you guys get to your flight as soon as we can, as fast as we can. So, but yeah, this Jesus looking guy, I'm sorry, let me take that back. This hippie looking guy, all right, um, he was freaking out. And so, like, we asked the people in front of him, hey, listen, he's going through this, he's like really late for his flight. Are you on another flight? Are you able to like let him pass you? And I think we got him ahead of a few people or whatever. And we helped and did his stuff like as fast as we could. Obviously, not taking away that we took special attention to his stuff, obviously, because when you're in a hurry, that raises alarms on our side as well, and we try to be even more careful with what we are watching go through from your person. Um, but yeah, so he made his flight or whatever. I do believe, but just when he freaked out, man, like that just it made caused such a big silence at the checkpoint that it was hilarious. In my eyes, I was like, this is the funniest thing I've seen in a while, and I've seen some pretty funny stuff. All right, I've seen coworkers that I don't know what they were thinking when they did certain things, but I've seen things being pulled out of bags and placed on the table that should not have been put on the table. Let's just put it that way, okay? Certain marital aids that should not be put on the table and out in the open have been displayed at times. But anyways, guys, every single one of you who's on the stream right now, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Jenny Rose, I don't know if you're a subscriber or not, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart for stopping by. If you want to go back from the beginning and watch the stream afterwards, oh yeah. So to answer that, because I do have to use the bathroom, I'm not gonna lie. To answer that question, let's see. Let me just read it again. I just accidentally found here. Do you ever question the reasons TSA was created? I don't question it because I know why it was created, right? And I guess long story short, to summarize my answer, I'm well aware that the TSA it has another purpose other than making sure things that shouldn't go on a flight don't go. There's deeper purposes for the TSA. And I'm aware of that because I'm a truther and I look into things and I do connect the dots and I do my research. But sadly, I can't say much more than that because obviously I'm at the bottom of the I guess tower of that whole structure or hierarchy, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I don't question it. I know why they're there, and it's not for the greatest intentions, like the deeper meaning of why they exist. It's not for good things, but superficially on the outside, for us working at the checkpoint, it is for what we're there for. It's to protect you guys as best as we can. Make sure nothing goes on that shouldn't go on. Like I can't count how many times we found like fully loaded weapons on carry-on bags and stuff like that. Yeah. So once again, I know the real reason why it was created, and it's not for what they want to make it out to be. Overall, there's more to it than that. They do want to eventually have more control of the traveling public, and that's something that you could look into for yourself. There's more to it than that in a very negative way. But yeah, guys, I do have to let you go for now because I do have to take care of something. But I thank every single one of you for stopping by. Thank you for all the love, for the thumbs up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel. And there's a lot of more content like this coming up in the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. Love you all so much. A big bear hug from me to you. And peace out. Yes, Jenny, that is correct. It is all about control. I agree with you on that. All right, y'all have a blessed day. And peace out. No problem. I got you.